Right, so we have more Scream news, but when we're gonna talk Scream, we're gonna get a little homosexual with it. So Matthew Lillard basically spoke on a recent panel discussion. It was him, Skeet Ulrich, and Rose McGowan, who were doing like a panel for Scream, whatever the case is. It was at Silver Screen Con. They have so many conventions. Um, so yeah, they were basically on stage and they were talking about this film because for years, queer horror fans have basically speculated whether or not Billy Loomis and Stu Marker were more than just friends, we'll say. And people were kind of feeling like there was some sort of a queer allegory that was throughout the original Scream. And Chase and Believe is definitely there. And I felt it. And it shouldn't come as a surprise because Kevin Williamson is gay and he wrote the script. So, and this being a late 90s, when did it come out? 96, so mid 90s, I guess we could say. Um, so yeah, next year would be the 30th anniversary of the original Scream. And so yeah, they had the conversation, they talked about it, and I do have the clip because so we can go over to the Tiki Taki, and I want y'all to hear what he had to say regarding the whole queer allegory surrounding Scream. Please hold.
I had some of your castmates here, and one of them was shocked to hear of the fan theory that Billy and Stu were queer coded. It was hard for me to believe that I was the first person to present that idea, but
I feel like maybe that's a motive in Tatum's death.
Oh!
In the movie,
Probably.
deep subplot that maybe they weren't even aware of the characters that deep. Maybe later.
Yeah. Or maybe
If
we
you
were
live.
totally aware.
Oh, yeah. Either way.
What?
Either way. It works.
Yeah. We are the first husbands of horror.
yeah.
I love that. The reason I love it is because there's a lot of hatred in the world right now. And I love standing up and saying we are the first gay couple ever in the horror movie. And there's nothing they can fucking say about it. You can't touch it. You can't take it away. So, I don't know. If there's a little gay kid out there going, oh my God, we see you. We love you.
Fact.
I had some of your cast.
She said fact. And yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, I definitely was like, yeah, there's some queer allegory. And I think that's why a lot of times, particularly my generation, when I first saw Scream, I was like, I think I related to that movie so much. And it's like, yeah, when you see certain poses and certain looks, like even this scene, or even like there were certain looks that Billy and Stu gave each other throughout the film. And even there were moments where I noticed that when the killers are revealed, the way Stu plays up the part in the third act when they reveal themselves as the killers, him and Billy, to Sydney in the third act, where you notice that, and well, I did, that he kind of he gets more flamboyant with his performance, and it becomes almost a bit comedic, a bit more flashy, a bit more over the top, and so I liked that side of Stu. Now I know a lot of people want Stu to be alive or whatever, but I'm like, I don't know how anybody survives a big old fat back TV, because the back of them TVs was heavy as hell. Trust me, believe I've had to lift them back when they were a thing. TVs have gotten a lot better and a lot lighter since then, but if you got a big old fat back TV, like if you got one of these little light TVs, whatever, on you, I don't think it will hurt you as much. But if you got one of them big old televisions that fell on your face, oh, you wouldn't have a face left. So I don't know how people think that Stu would able to survive that. Or look, here's the thing: I'll be open minded if they could find a way to curtail and make it seem like, or find a way to bring Stu back in the franchise, and it comes across as believable. When we finally see this movie, then I'll be like, okay, but we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there, when the movie comes out in February. In the meantime, with this whole thing, I've always said, like, yeah, there is a queer allegory when it comes to Stu and Billy Loomis. They definitely felt like, well, Bill, child, quiet as his kid, Billy was out here hunching every damn body. I mean, while he was with Sydney, he was banging her mother, Maureen, who was like the slut of Woodsboro, as they like to call her. And then on top of that, he done, Christina Carpenter got her pregnant. And then we found out years later he had Sam, and that was before Tara came along. So there was that whole thing. So Billy was out here laying low and spreading it wide all over Woodsboro. And then he finally got up in Sydney drawers because she wasn't giving it to him. So the whole idea regarding calling them the first gay couple, I actually like that. One person said in the comments, First Husband's a Horror would make a great band name. It actually would. That'd be cute. Another person said, I love Matthew Lillard. That was so cute. Not y'all posted a picture of Shawn Wayans and, oh my God, the white dude from a Scary Movie. Like y'all about to hunch. Another person said the fact that Rose felt safe enough to go makes me fucking so happy. Well, yeah, because the man who raped her is in jail. Another person said Matthew Lillard is everything. Another person said, what do you mean coded? Your Honor, they are married. And they said, another person said the original Murder Husbands next to Hanagram, of course. Not somebody posted, the whole look of Law and Order. Somebody put Raw and Older, and then another person says screenwriter Kevin Williamson is an out and proud homosexual man, and has said that he loosely based their characters on Leopold and Loeb, so deaf gay coded. I did not know that. So and then another person said, not enough people know about Leopold and Loeb, but as someone who thought I knew a lot of behind the scenes, I somehow missed the inspiration. Cool tidbit. So yeah, one person said that one of my life goals to go see them in person. Matthew Lillard is such an amazing. First of all, I love me some Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich. Child, don't have me come into person. I have to climb on that man. That man has gotten finer as he got older. So and remember back in the day, he was compared to like Johnny Depp or whatever. So he was like the Johnny Depp of the '90s, very much in how he looked or whatever. But look, he has aged like fine wine. Johnny Depp, on the other hand, them alcohol and cigarettes clearly got to him because Miss Mama out here looking rough in the face like RFK Jr. But I'm trying to see if there was any more oh yeah. So and they do have the art. They have it in the article too. So they said, yeah, Scream has been considered queer coded for some time, with Billy and Stu loosely based on infamous early 20th century murderers, Leopold and Loeb, both of whom told the press that they were in a homosexual relationship. Screenwriter Kevin Williamson, himself a homosexual man, told Pride Source it's very sort of homoerotic in the sense that there were these two guys who killed this other person just to see if they could get away with it. If you Google Leopold and Loeb, you'll read about it and you'll get, okay, that's Billy and Stu. So there you have it. So I don't think it was necessarily queer. I mean, quiet as it's kept, a lot of times, maybe on a subconscious level, you kind of sense those things, but you don't know how to put it to words. It's just a feeling. And in the mid '90s, we didn't have a word for like, oh, is it queer coded or is there any kind of homosexual tendencies between these guys? Because in the '90s, it wasn't something that was broadcast. It wasn't something that was like overtly in your face because we didn't have a lot of queer representation at those times. But yeah, when you look back on it and you're looking at it from a 2020, I'm almost said 2025 lens. Everybody was like, or even back then, because they said for years this has been a thing. So it's definitely like, okay, I definitely see it, but chill. Now that we're in a new time situation, can we actually get a in your face gay couple serial killer situation in a Scream movie? Because the queers love horror. We've been a staunch supporter of horror movies and everything entailing that, because I guess we could relate in so many ways to the boogeyman and the monsters and the monster in the bed and that sort of thing. So I saw that to say, what do you guys think of this story? Did you always detect that there might be a little situation between Stu and Billy Loomis? That their characters there was sort of like, you think they may have been more than just friends. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.